Hi guys, it's Emily from Novel Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my reading catch up September week 4? Can't believe we're in the last week of September. And it's some shorties. Because I've got 2 shorty books. But somehow partly because of the fact I've got 2 shorty books and partly because I had a buddy read that ended on Monday. So I finished my book on Monday. I've kind of somehow read 9 books this week. So I don't quite know how that's happened. Probably who knows what's going to happen. I know that in October I'm going to be reading less because I've got a lot of big books in October and I'm really trying to be a bit more sensible with myself. But it's been a really mixed week of books. So I've got a couple of crappy books. I've got, no, not two books that aren't great for various reasons. I've got 4 4.5 stars, 1 5-star and 2 4 stars. So it has been quite a mixed bag. And who knows what, knowing me, the last week, the actual overlapping September-October time will probably, I just don't know how I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to pick, if I've got a book off my shelves that's going to be 5 stars. I just don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling. Prepare for a lot of that today. So what I'm currently reading, these books, because I finished 2 books yesterday, I am only just started The Boardwalk Bookshop by Susan Mallory. It's kind of like a summary book because it's the last weeks where there's sun out here in the UK. And this is a longer one, so it's probably going to be my last. Oh, hang on a minute. Haha, it's got the thingy bit for another book. Right, so it's 400, basically 400 pages, 420 pages. So I don't know how long this one's going to take me, and bear in mind today is busy. But I started it yesterday. It's about 3 friends finding the courage to start over. And there's Bree, Mickey and Ashley. They opened the Boardwalk Bookshop on the California coast. And they've all got, Bree has sworn to protect her heart at all costs until she meets a best-selling author, and that changes everything. Mickey has never moved on from her divorce but knows something must change. And Ashley's wedding fantasy is shattered when she discovers her boyfriend never wants to get married. Every Friday, the 3 friends meet up on the beach in front of the bookshop to toast the sunset. Here, their bond grows closer. They challenge each other to not only face their fears, but fight for what they've always wanted and love. So this does look good. And then today, I am going to start my Victober book, one of my Victober books early. I'm going to start Hester by Margaret Oliphant. It's one of the biggest Victober books. I'm not reading it to schedule with everyone else because I don't do that. But this is 456 pages, so it's not the longest one out of my Victober books. But I wanted to start on a high. I wanted to start and read a couple of chapters a day, or I think I might just see how I feel. I'm not going to go for a set mission. I don't want to read too fast because I know that when I read classics too fast, I don't enjoy them. So I think today I'm certainly going to try and read 2, but I'm not going to do gaps. I'm not going to do gaps in reading. So sometimes I always do it I read on the days where I've got the most time. So tomorrow I won't have any time. But I might just read a chapter tomorrow. I might just go at it like that. So I'm going to try and read a couple of chapters today and see how I go and just take the pressure off. But this is a book that I'm really excited about. It's a group book for Victober. I'm starting this early. So actually, technically, that's going to be on top. Now for the books that I've read. Obviously, some of them I'll talk a bit more. You're going to see some lovely pictures at the end of this video because it's probably autumn's hit in the best way this last week. So we've got, my first book is the book that is being hosted. This was gifted to me by the lovely Jack from Svev Bookjoy, and it is only 2.5 stars. It's their group book for one of their translated fiction readathons, and I'm sorry, Jack. I'm really sorry. I didn't like it at all. I don't like Cornelia Funk's writing. I think I liked one of their books, and I think that was it. And this is just, it's fancy. I don't know how much I was actually properly reading in it. I just didn't connect with the book. It's okay. It's just not for me. A born storyteller, Jacob has uncovered the doorway to another world hidden behind a mirror. It's a place of dark magic and enchanted objects, scheming dwarves and fearsome ogres, fairies born from water and men born from stone. And I just didn't particularly love this. And yeah, it's just not for me. So I'm sorry, it's 2.5 stars. And then this book is only 3.5 stars, The Forgotten Palace by Alexandra Walsh. It's historical fiction two timelines, London in 1900. Alice Webster's made the worst decision of her life. When her aunt suggests a grand tour, she jumps at the opportunity to get away from the glare of scandal. When the journey takes her to the Cretan Coast house, thick with the history and the world-famous dig at Coronas, the stories from the past began to echo through Alice's life. And you've got the present-day timeline. Eloise d'Arth needs to escape, so she heads to Crete, to the house her father-in-law Quinn left her. Right, I am going to say there is spoilers for this because I really think you need to know this. If you don't want to know the spoilers, please just wait until this video, wait for the book to go down. But I really think that if you want to read the book and you need to be aware of spoilers, please listen to this because I didn't know the spoilers and I found it very, very hard. And the spoiler in this is the current day timeline. There is domestic abuse and rape, and there's a lot of other things that happened in this, but domestic abuse is a very big thing in the present timeline, and I found that very, very hard to read. And I really, even though I got 3.5 stars because there were some softer bits and I like the historical bits linked into the Cretan palace and things, but I found it a very, very hard read, and I really, really struggle with this. The past timeline, as I would have thought, is coercive. Like this guy that she has a bit of a relationship with in the past was definitely pushing her into it, and I think that kind of was a bit icky. And I got 3.5 stars, but should I have given it just 3? I think looking at realistically, I probably would have changed it to a 3 now. But it's a really, really hard book. The historical fiction book is interesting, and it does tackle the domestic abuse, and it's done well, but it's very, very creepy, and I didn't really like this at all. So those two are going to charity shop. Now the next two on a happy note, they're 4 stars, and I read them after some of the harder books, but they were just 4 stars. And one of them is like a book that was off my shelf that I got from the charity shop right near me. It's complete fantasy. It's 4 stars. It's Wild Magic by Cat Weatherill. It is basically the Pied Piper of Hamelin retelling, and it is done really well. It's a short book it was for Shorties September. It was short, it was fun, it was less than 300 pages. It's like the Pied Piper of Hamelin, but with some twists, and with the sisters and her brother that are involved, and they're trapped in a world of wild magic, a world as cruel as it is beautiful, and the Whispering Forest, and it's fantasy and it's fun and it's really, really good, and I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed it. Really, really good. I will look for more of that character, that author's work. Then Tom wanted another shorter book, and this is Where's My Mummy by Maggie Hartley. It's a non-fiction book on fostering, and it is again a heartbreaker, but it's really, really good. Sorry. Mum and Dad gone? Asked Louisa. Yes, I nodded, they're gone. And after a horrific car crash, 13-year-old Louisa is left fighting for her life in hospital. She wakes up to find that her loving family has been shattered overnight, with both her parents now dead, and she has got no one to care for her, and Louisa is alone. But then there's a foster carer. This says Britain's most loved foster carer. There's lots of foster carer authors out there. Maggie Hartley is called in to help Louisa cope with the devastating new life. And can Maggie find a way to bond with Louisa? And this is a really, really good book. Another charity shop one, but really, really good. Then we got the rest of them are like 4.5 stars and a 1 5-star, and I loved all of these. And yes, I think 3 out of the 4 is 4.5 stars are contemporary, and they're 4.5, not just 4.5, because each of them has got something about them that I loved. This first one is Celebrations at the Chateau by Jo Thomas, and this says, I wasn't sure if this was a Christmas book or a summer book, and I think it you could read it in both. When their grandfather dies, Fliss and her sisters are astonished to inherit the French chateau. Travelling to Normandy to visit the beautiful if faded house, they excitedly make plans over crepes and everything, but they soon discover the chateau needs major work, a huge tax bill is due, and there's a sitting tenant who they owe a monthly allowance to. This is about family, this is about second chances, this is about history. This is set in France like she always does, like Jo Thomas writes a lot of her books. And this is a good book with a slightly older protagonist in this. Bit of romance, bit of family, really good contemporary, really enjoyed it. Thoroughly loved it. That's my mum book. Next one is another one that's going to be safe for mum. A Song of Me and You by Mike Gale. And yes, there is a trope. There is a bit of a twist at the end that we always expect about happily ever afters, that kind of thing. It is a bit of one of those romances. Success, fame. It's the outside world. LA-based rock star Ben seems to have the perfect life. So why does he feel like running away from it all? Reeling from a departure of a cheating husband, part-time teacher Helen feels like her life is unravelling. Further, when her ex announced that he's taking their children on holiday. That was really at the start, so that's really not a spoiler. Till a knock at a door in the suburban Manchester changes everything, because there standing there is Ben, her first love. And although it's been 20 years since they last spoke, he needs her help. Very sweet romance, very thing about second chance romances, childhood romances, about feeling pretty in herself. That was done well. Really good romance. Obviously, yeah, you get a heartbreaking bit because Mike Gale always puts a heartbreaking bit in it, but it's a good bit. Really enjoyed it. Now, the next one, which is third in the series, so I now can't read the first two because obviously I know the spoilers for it. I picked this up in Woking, about a year ago, I think. Crazy in Love in the Lonely Hearts Bookshop. This for me is almost 5 stars because it has so many things that I love in books. It has body positivity because the lead character is size 14 to 16. I'm kind of like, we don't go about my size, it's changed over the years, but so we've got a larger lead character, and it does talk about body positivity and the fact that she gets knocked for her size, which I don't like. She's got her own quirky image, which she loves, and it's set in a bookshop. And one of the things that I love is her favourite book is Wuthering Heights, which is, as you well know, is my favourite book. And some of the references she does to this, and the references to the Bad Boy of Heathcliff, and all things like that are amazing. There were some bits at the end of this that melted my heart and made me just go, oh. She does have a really hard relationship with her mother, the lead character in this, who is called Nina. And that is tackled really well. And I think it does look at both sides of that relationship. And I love her relationship. And friendships, it's all set in the bookshop. So the bookshop is set in a romance bookshop as well, which is flipping fantastic. And you got it's just a really, really good book. And I love the Wuthering Heights bit. I love the fact she loves the Brontes. I love all the Wuthering Heights references. I love the body positivity. I love the fact the way she is. And I just thought it was a brilliant, brilliant contemporary book, and I thoroughly loved it. And this one that's very opposite to all of these, but 4.5 stars. And this is another book that most of these books are off my shelves that have been mood read. And this is First of the Tudors by Joanna Hickson. And I absolutely loved this. I was surprised at how much I loved this because it taught me about some characters in the Tudor history that I didn't know much about. And that is about Jasper Tudor, who is King Henry VII's uncle. And we meet King Henry VII from Bubba towards getting closer to his reign. And he was Jasper Tudor. I never realised exactly the history. I know quite a lot about the Tudor history, but he was half brother to King Henry VI. And I didn't quite know that history, and I had another sister, and there's those family links at the start, which was done really well. And Jasper's the lead character, the male lead in this, but it does talk about Henry VII's mother, Margaret Beaufort, and we all know what happened with her and how she had Henry VII when she was too young to have him, and it basically ripped her bits and bobs, and it was, not very pleasant, and she nearly died. And it talks about their history, and he meets a lady who is not of noble birth, so he's not allowed to marry her, and what their history. And it's got all the maps and the family history bits at the start. But it was 4.5 stars, and it was done really, really well, because I like the lead character. The other female lead in this is Jane Hewlett, who is one of the so-called commoner, and it's her story as well as James's, as well as Jasper's story. And I thought they were both done very, very well. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Absolutely, I just bloody loved it. There's loads of characters in the Tudor line. It talks about that history. Yes, I get a bit confused. Thank God I know history. But it talks about the War of the Roses and how the Tudors kind of got involved in that. And it was just fantastic, fantastic book. I really, really enjoyed it. Mum wouldn't love it, but I did. Now to my 5-star. And this is Wild by Kristen Hanna. And we all know Kristen Hanna is one of my favourite authors ever. And this is one of her books that is not a historical fiction. I would say I'd put it down as fiction rather than contemporary. kind of set, I think it actually set more in like the 80s, 90s. I don't actually think it's set in current day, but it says like fiction, so this is it. And I bloody read this with my lovely subscriber Lorraine, who I absolutely loved to pieces. And I put this on my wish list because of Olivia from Olivia's Catastrophe recommending it. And she was right. It was an absolutely incredible book. The writing is incredible. It's basically about this girl who, they're set in the rugged Pacific Northwest of the United States, and it's near the Olympic National Forest, which is a vast expanse of impenetrable darkness. And then from deep within this mysterious woodland, a 6-year-old girl appears. Speechless and alone, she offers no clue as to her identity or her past. And then, having retreated to the hometown after its scandal left her career in ruins, child psychiatrist Dr. Julia Gates begins working with the extraordinary girl. Naming her Alice, Julia is determined to free her from her prison of unimaginable fear and isolation, and discover the truth about Alice's past. It will destroy you. Like, this is Kristen Hanna's very, very destroying book that will make you cry and give you all the oh my god, and literally it will break your heart. And as a mother, I found certain bits very, very hard, but it was done really, really well, and the writing is incredible. It's going on my favourites for the year so far. It is a destroying book, but the writing is absolutely incredible, and I would recommend it to everyone. So yeah, that's my favourite book. It's going on my favourites books of the year. This is my only keepy. So those are the books I've been reading. Ooh. But what have I been up to? What are my things to be grateful for? So obviously it was my once in a 3-week trip to the library. I found 2 gorgeous books. You'll see a picture of them with my Costa. And I'm not supporting Costa, don't support any of that. But I went there, and I've got this thing now that I go every 3 weeks now, and it's my little treat. And I have a cake, I have whatever drink I want. I'm lactose intolerant, so I have my soy milk latte. They didn't have the doodle one that I really wanted, the maple syrup one that I wanted, but it's a lovely latte. I had a gorgeous cake, and the service there was good because this lady recommended this cookie sandwich cake. Oh my god, when you see the picture, it tastes as bloody good as it looked. And I sat down there, and I looked at my things, and I just stopped. And I think that's one of the things that I'm realising with my life at the moment is it's very busy like everyone, and I just needed to have that little break just to sit, read my book and stop, or sit and just stop and even look at my phone and sit there with coffee and a cake. I don't remember. Like, I'm normally like, I have the odd coffee break here, running backwards and forwards with everything that's going on, and I don't feel like I stop, and it's just brilliant to do that. And I went into Waterstones and like collected a book that I'd ordered, which you'll see in my book haul, and this game chatted to them about books, and it was just a really lovely trip to town. And as you can well see, if you haven't noticed, I've had my hair cut and coloured. The cut's like not been much taken off, but it's been layered. And it's been like coloured to a lovely like reddish tones, which I don't know how much you can see in the camera, but it just made me feel really good. And then obviously I went out and I went for some walks and saw the autumn leaves, and I've got some lovely pictures to show you. And I started kicking leaves, and that was just a brilliant thing, like to actually kick the leaves again and to like feel that chill in the air, but that feel of the leaves that coming and everything else. It was just a brilliant time. Like, I loved it. Just what I needed. I think I always believe like, oh, what sort of emoji? I never think about my emojis, but part of me is like bothering. I think just leave, because you got to the end of this video, because I've read some shorty books and I've read like the books set in a bookshop. So leave me some book emoji. If you got to the end of this video, leave me a book emoji. Any of the stack? No, leave me a stack of books. Leave me the stack of books emoji, because I've read quite a lot of books this week. So yeah, leave me the stack of books emoji if you've got to the end of this video. What have you been reading this week? What have you been up to? I love chatting to you all in the comments down below, and I hope you've all had a great week. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, subscribe. Bring on my ding-a-ling. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.